Ladies and gentlemen, 12 days ago, I made a top 10 crypto gaming tokens video. And since then, I've actually tracked the performance, and it is up over 43% over the past 12 days. Today, I want to go ahead and actually focus on 3 crypto gaming tokens that I'm looking at for the rest of the month of November. One of them is actually a new addition to this list. So if you enjoy this kind of content, as always, like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. But before we get into it, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Seedify as the title sponsor for this video. They are a crypto gaming token launchpad. If you ever wanted to get into a token launch early, well, Seedify is probably going to be one of the key places to do so. They're actually the biggest crypto gaming launchpad in the entire crypto space, and it's very simple. If you want to be a part of it and get a part of all these different pools, etc., all you need to do is hold a specific amount of ASFUN. You know, you've got 500 ASFUN for 1.1 pool weight, all the way up to 100k ASFUN. Their token has been doing stellar. Alex Becker went ahead and mentioned them for the astronomical gains they did back in 2021. And without further ado, big shout out to them for sponsoring this video, and let's get right into it. So the first token I want to go ahead and talk about is Illuvium. Now, we mentioned Illuvium in the top 10 crypto gaming tokens video. It's up around 33% over the past 12 days, so it has performed very well, but there's good reason for it. And there's good reason that I do think that there are more gains to be had right here. And that's the fact that on November 28th, they are going to be introduced to the Epic Games Store. Now, before anybody goes ahead and comments in the comments section that the Epic Games Store is a lot easier to get into in crypto gaming these days, you're right, okay? But this isn't just a crypto game, right? Like, this is Illuvium. This is Illuvium, where I actually did an interview with Grant Warwick, one of the co-founders of Illuvium. He said they're not focused just on the Web3 element. They wanted to make a game that was competitive to the likes of Teamfight Tactics, the biggest game in the actual auto battler genre, which is what Illuvium is trying to compete for. So November 28th, what they're going to have is the Illuvium Beta 3 PvP. Now, PvP, I've played it. I think it looks stellar. I'm really excited for it. Illuvium has already gotten past that point of hyperinflation where everybody was freaking out about the staking rewards, and then it went all the way back down. The crypto gaming, bear market has done its thing, but guess what? Over the past year, I mean, look at these gains, 100% gains over the past year. And as you can see right here, I don't know if anybody does TA, but it looks like they are setting up for a breakout. So if this goes well, I'm looking forward to it. It has had a retracement since the last time, it had its little mini high. It was around $90-something, almost $100, right? When it had retraced to $86 right now, I'm thinking if this launch goes well, if the Web2 gamers are excited for what Illuvium is providing, we're about 10 days off from this. I do think that the key way to play this is play it on the run up. Don't play it on the actual day. I do think this is a buy the rumor, sell the news play, where once we get to the actual date of the launch, it's probably going to have a correction. Now, I could be wrong, but I do think that, playing it before it actually launches is going to be best for gains in short-term price trading. So the next token I want to talk about is Beam. Now, Beam is part of the Avalanche hype cycle. I actually learned of this game from another token. It's actually called Weapon. I want to go ahead and shout them out because without them, I wouldn't have learned about Beam. So Mega Weapon is a different game. It's actually being built on the Avalanche subnet. And so Beam, what they're trying to do is very simple. It is a subchain on Avalanche, right? And I think it's incredible what they're doing. Crypto games are now able to front gas fees themselves and allow gamers to just play the games seamlessly. But not only is Beam doing that, remember, they're part of Merit Circle DAO, which Merit Circle DAO is an entirely other thing that is super hype. They've got a new era of gaming. They've got a bunch of different titles that are wanting to use the Beam hub, and Beam is really interconnected. It's interwoven in the entire crypto gaming space. I think there's a lot of gains to be had here. Right now, as a price point, I'm going to be honest with you, like, 352 million is a lot. It's a big market cap. It's actually almost top 100. But if you continue to see the hype on Avalanche as it is just happening right now, I mean, Avalanche has ran up a metric ton over the past couple weeks. I mean, just look at this. Just over the past month, it's gone up 138%. And Alex Becker actually talked about Avalanche as well. My Avalanche play is partially Beam and partially the token that I'm going to talk about the next that is a brand new token. So yeah, Beam is up 70% from its all-time low, and it's doing doing really good. It's 350 million market cap. You know, I can see this in the billions. I think that they have the connections to do it. They aren't listed on any like crazy centralized exchanges. So you usually want to get into these plays before they get listed on those crazy sexes, because by the time it gets there, then you're probably a little bit late. But this is definitely a long-term accumulation play, and definitely not something where you get into it and then you just go all in, right? This is not what I'm saying. So last one is Shrapnel. Now, Shrapnel is up 25% on the day. Shrapnel has a $39 million market cap with a fully diluted of 517 million. I know that number looks very scary, and to some degree it is, but Shrapnel actually launched very recently. In fact, it launched over in November 8th, had a bit of a dip. People were freaking out over it because they were like, oh, but Shrapnel's not focusing on their token. They're like clowns, right? But then they started pumping again, and everybody loves Shrapnel. So let's talk about what Shrapnel is. Now, Shrapnel is an extraction shooter, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, the game is a AAA game. You can see it yourself, and you can go ahead and kill people, extract stuff. I forgot what exactly the resource is, but it's some interesting like green resource that's really cool. But the reason I'm talking about it is because of the tokenomics for Shrapnel. Now, if you're trading Shrapnel a year from now, this will not apply to you. I want to be very blunt here. What I'm talking about right now will not apply to you. But if you're trading between this year and next year, and you're looking at Shrapnel at a $39 million valuation, this is a AAA game on Avalanche. Mind you, Avalanche has a lot of hype right now, a ton of hype. That's why Avalanche Shrapnel makes a lot of sense. Look at the tokenomics for this. Now, here are the tokenomics for Shrap. 33% of it is for community rewards. Okay, cool. 27% is for the team and advisors, which is a big amount. I'm not going to lie. 20% is for the seed, which is a lot as well. 7% for strategic token holders, and then 8.5% for ecosystem fund. But look at the unlock schedule for this. This is the most important part. The big ones here, right? So let's go ahead and add this. So team and advisors is 27%. Then we've got seed token, which is another 20%. We've got 47% of supply locked right here. And then the strategic token holders, which is the next biggest one, is also locked on top of that, which if we go ahead and do all that, somewhere around 53, right? This is huge. Huge stuff. Because if you know anything about how tokens work, TGE is token generation event. That's when it launches. All of these, the biggest portion of the supply, 0% of it gets unlocked at token generation event. So when this thing launched, nobody from the team and advisors to the seed token holders to the strategic token holders got any tokens. This is like something I never see in the space. Usually it's something like maybe they'll get 10% of the supply at TGE or something like that, right? And then they'll have a 6-month cliff. And what the cliff means is that once we hit the 12-month mark, then they start getting tokens. And it's a linear unlock after the cliff, which means that they only get a portion of that. So it takes 60 months for the team to get all their tokens, which is like really good. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see. This is really good tokenomics for a token launch that can end up being very positive for the overall ecosystem. So you've got a range of at least 6 to 12 months to look at Shrapnel right now. You know, even if we see a crazy fully diluted market cap of like 1 billion or like 7 billion or something like that, that does not matter because they don't have access to any of those tokens. They're like, you might as well put them in the gulag, and then they're not there for the next year. Shrapnel is an incredible play. I do think that this is one of those plays that is going to get a lot of hype on centralized exchanges like Coinbase, like Binance. It's not listed there just yet. They do have a KuCoin listing, which did end up having a lot of positive price action for Shrapnel. But if we're looking at the fact that this is a AAA company that has a ton of connections and is probably going to get themselves on some of those larger centralized exchanges, I think Shrapnel as a 1-year-ish hold is an excellent play for the crypto gaming space. I hope I informed you. I hope I helped go ahead and educate you on some cool crypto gaming token stuff I'm looking at. As always, not financial advice. Don't you dare. Till the next time, stay classy. And that's all.